good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to our Zebra DevTalk today. We're excited for you to join us for this discussion around essential components of modern day security. Before we get started, I just wanted to go through some logistics with you. The webinar is being recorded and will be available on YouTube in about a week's time. All of your phone lines are muted. We can't see or hear you during the presentation. We will try to answer your questions at the end of the session if time permits. If you do have a question, use the questions feature within GoToWebinar to ask. Also, throughout the presentation, we will be sending QR codes or links to you. Be sure to check out those resources along the way. Before I hand it over to Sairam, I want to share a quick video with you that highlights our developer portal. And the video goes through some key tools, resources, and things that you can access on our developer portal. Let's play the video, please.
Learn, connect, build, all in one place. The Zebra Developer Portal. As an enterprise software developer, you need fast and easy access to technical information, documentation, and tutorials. You also want to connect with your peers, share and consume information to build your knowledge and competencies. The updated Zebra Developer Portal has you covered. Product pages give you quick access to product overviews, tutorials, documentation, use cases, forums, and blogs about specific products, all indexed with quick links to key developer information to help you build. Forums within the Zebra developer community make it easy to connect with your peers and find answers to your specific development questions to help you collaborate and build. Community blogs feature content from Zebra engineers and other developer experts, all sharing the latest technologies and tools to enable your development on enterprise devices. Developer events provide knowledge and networking opportunities for our developer community. Be sure to scroll through the upcoming and past events for registration information and access to on-demand content. The Zebra Developer Portal provides enterprise developers like you with the tools and services you need to build your edge. With an easy-to-use interface, you will be sure to find the resources and connections you need to build all your enterprise applications. Devices built by us, apps built by you.
Thank you. Priyanka, if you'll just go to the next slide. Great. In addition to our developer portal, we invite you to join our developer community. Join us on LinkedIn, on Twitter, now known as X, GitHub, and listen to our first series of our developer webcasts as well. Priyanka will share those links later today in the chat, so be sure to follow them and connect with us. Last, before we start the presentation, we have two upcoming events that I want you to be aware of. We will be at DroidCon London this week. I know it's just starting tomorrow, but if interested and if you're in the area, please do check it out and stop by our booth and talk to some of our developer advocates. In addition, our next DevTalk will be about cloud connectivity for Zebra printers. Feel free to use the QR code on the screen and register for that session. Future events will be posted on our social channels and our developer portals, so be sure to follow and check back often. Now I'll turn it over to Sairam to go through the main presentation of the webinar today. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's DevTalk. In the first session, I have taught how to securely acquire and utilize the sensitive data. Now, in this session, we delve into the critical elements of contemporary data security. Effective data and secrets management are pivotal in safeguarding information from unauthorized access, use, or alteration. This session covers essential topics including scope storage, data trust security, data in motion security, credential management. Implementing these practices substantially minimizes the likelihood of security breaches. Scope storage. It is a system or feature introduced in Android 10 onwards that limits how apps can access files on a device. How does scope storage work? Under scope storage, Apps can only access files that they have created by themselves or files that are in the public download folder. Apps can also access certain types of media files such as photos, videos that they have not created, but only with the user's explicit permission or consent. Benefits of scoped storage is improved user privacy and security. That is a primary goal of Google going forward. Reduced file clutter, improved user control. But there will be always challenges with the scoped storage introduction, specifically compatibility issues, because if your application is already using a layer without these restrictions, and more complex developer experience. Starting with Android 10 by means of scoped storage introduction. Today, Android 13 is built with the user privacy in mind. This is positive development for user privacy, but it presents some challenges for developers. One area of concern is the security of public folders, all readable and writable folders, and weak links in the chain of security. Several attacks have been documented leveraging the openness of such folders. On Zebra devices, trusted files renaming, file substituting, and improper app cleanup on uninstallation are threats to the folders like enterprise/user, data/temp public folders, which are legacy from the past. To fully embrace the scoped storage principles, you should consider moving away from them. I'm just kidding. Zebra is committed to helping developers meet the challenge of scoped storage. We are providing a number of tools and resources to help you migrate your apps to use scoped storage. One of these tools is called Zebra Secure Storage Manager. In short, it is SSM. SSM is a secure and reliable way to share data between apps on Zebra devices. What is SSM? SSM is Secure Storage Manager. In short, SSM is a secure and reliable way to share data between apps in Zebra devices. It provides a number of benefits, including Secure Storage Manager uses a secure channel to transmit data between apps, protecting it from unauthorized access. Reliability. SSM store and forward feature ensures that data is delivered to target apps even if they are not yet installed or ready to receive the data. Flexibility. SSM is a shared resources that can be used by any third party or system app. It can be used to manage and keep track of multiple connections and piece of data. SSM is a powerful tool that can help developers to overcome any storage related concerns which are around scoped storage. It is especially useful for developers who are building apps that need to share data with other apps on Zebra devices. Assuming you want to move away from the raw file access, let's see how you would approach a storage use case with and without SSM. Without SSM in the context of scoped storage, an app-specific file or content provider can be used to share information between apps without giving either app access to the or others' private files. Target app listens to the provider changes. Target app can listen for changes in the provider. This allows target app to be notified when the originating app inserts new information into the provider. Originating app inserts the information to be shared if necessary. Originating app can pre-encrypt the information before inserting into provider, which is an optional normally. Then target app is notified and retrieve the piece of information that is being shared by originating app. When target app is notified a change to the provider, it can use or it can query a method to retrieve the information that is shared. Overall, the approach which we discussed now, it's not directly reusable by other applications. All the implementation is managed by the developer. It's a lengthier process. If we want to use with SSM, it is easy to transmit the data from one application to other application. Target app listens to the standard SSM notifications. Originating app inserts information to be shared into the SSM. By default, encryption is enforced in this mechanism. Then target app is notified and retrieves the piece of information. Overall, it is easy to reusable, and the encryption is by default and available from SSM. When sharing the files between apps, it is important to consider security. If you want to share the files from your local storage, the best option is to use local file provider managed by originating app. This method is the most secure because the file content is never exposed beyond the app's scope of storage. A less secure option is to share files via standard public folder. However, be mindful that public folders are all read-writable, so any app on the device can access them. No matter which method you choose, it is important to make sure that SSM has read access to the file being inserted. This is because SSM needs to be accessible to read the file in order to transmit it to the target app. Here are some additional steps or tips sharing files between apps securely. Use encryption to protect the file content. Use authentication to ensure that only authorized apps can access the file. Use logging mechanism to track who has access to the file and when the file remote. If you want to transfer the files from a remote server, so StageNow is the best tool to use it, to deploy it. One of the things that StageNow can do is to deploy files to the applications. This can be useful for a variety of purposes, such as deploying updates to the targeted applications. How do we notify the target app? When an originating app shares a file with the target app using SSM file sharing, the target app needs to know that URI of the provide access to share the file. The target app is notified when the file is available using a standard Android intent. By implementing a broadcast receiver for SSM file sharing, the target app can be notified when a file has been shared with it and can then access the shared file. This allows developers to build apps that can securely and reliably share files between each other. Example of setting up a receiver for SSM file sharing. In the example, you can have a look at it in this QR code which is shared in the slide deck. SSM can also hold and share simple piece of data between apps on Jabra devices. It provides a secure, reliable, and flexible way to share simple piece of data up to 10 KB in size between the apps. SSM is implemented as a key value pairs with the key uniqueness guaranteed. SSM also works well in direct put mode. When a new piece of data is added to SSM, all subscribed apps will receive a notification via the standard Android content observer. Originating apps needs to use or call notify change to ensure that the notification is triggered. The next important topic is data at rest, which is called DAR modules. Data storage security is about protecting data from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modifications, or destruction. Encryption is a key tool for achieving confidentiality, as it renders data unreadable to anyone without the necessary decryption key. By keeping data encrypted, even when the device is powered off, organization can ensure that their data remains confidential even if the device is lost or stolen. Data at rest security, in short form DAR, is an important part of any data security strategy. One of the most important aspects of information security is protecting data from physical exposure. This means preventing unauthorized users from gaining access to your devices and the data that they store. Jabra devices are designed to help you protect your data from physical exposure. All Jabra devices encrypt all data that is stored, including operating system files like configurations, applications data, and user data. This means that even if someone is able to steal your device, they will not be able to access the data without decryption keys. Jabra adheres to NIST guidelines in a number of ways, including encrypting all data that is stored on Jabra devices. By adhering to NIST guidelines, Zebra helps and ensures that its devices are secure as much as possible. Let's talk on device encryption. You can see there are two types of encryptions on devices, right? Whether it is a full disk or file-based encryption. On-device encryption is a security feature that encrypts the data on your devices, making it unreadable to anyone who does not have the decryption key. This helps to protect your data from unauthorized access, even if a device is lost or stolen. There are two types of on-device encryption, namely full disk encryption FDE or file-based encryption called FBE. Zebra devices supports FDE on order-based platforms or devices, and on all new products which we are delivering today, file-based encryption is default FBE. On Zebra devices, on-device encryption is enabled by default, whether it is FDE or FBE, it is by default enabled. This means that you do not need to take any explicit action to enable it. Your data is automatically encrypted when you power on your device and decrypted when you unlock the device. Benefits of on-device encryption. There are a number of benefits using on-device encryption, including data protection. On-device encryption helps to protect your data from unauthorized access, even if a device is lost or stolen. Compliance. On-device encryption can help you to meet compliance required for your data security. And the important thing is peace of mind for the customers. Data in motion. Now let's talk about the importance of protecting data that is being transmitted over a network, which is called data in motion or DIM. It is also called as data in transit, in short DIT. Data that is being transmitted over a network can be intercepted by unauthorized individuals if it is not properly protected. This can have serious consequences such as identity theft, financial fraud, and damage to reputation. There are a number of different ways to protect data in transit. The best approach will vary depending on the specific situation. However, some common data in motion security measures include encryption. Basically, it scrambles data so that it is unreadable to anyone who does not have decryption key. This is an essential security measure for protecting confidential data, such as credit card information, social security numbers, and any personal information. Session level encryption, such as HTTPS, TLS, which is used to protect data in transit between a web browser and a website. This is important for protecting online transactions and our sensitive data. VPNs is another way to protect your DIM or DIT. It creates a secure channel over a public network, such as the internet. This allows you to transmit data securely between two devices, even if the public network is not secure. Encrypted. The next one is email messaging. When you exchange emails, make sure that emails are digitally signed messages. They help you verify the sender and the integrity of the message. And application level encryption, which is used to protect data in transit between specific applications, such as messaging apps or file transfer programs. How do I encrypt it? Boring SSL is Google maintained open source implementation of the TLS protocol that has been validated to FIPS 140-2 level 1. This means that it has been certified by NIST to meet the certain security requirements for cryptographic modules. On Zebra devices, Boring SSL only allows the use of FIPS approved cryptographic algorithms. This helps to ensure that data in motion is protected using strong cryptography that meets the requirements of government and industry standards. In addition to using FIPS approved algorithms, Boring SSL also implements a number of security features that helps to protect data in motion, such as TLS 1.3 support and perfect forward service secrecy, which is called PFS. It supports certificate pinning, which helps to prevent man-in-middle attacks. By using FIPS Boring SSL, organizations can keep or ensure that their data in motion is protected by using a strong cryptography, which meets the government and industry standards. In addition to the security benefits, Boring SSL can also help organizations to meet compliance requirements. For example, many government agencies or regulated industries requires the use of FIPS approved cryptography. By using FIPS Boring SSL, organizations can help to ensure that they are meeting these requirements. Credential management. Credential management is a process of managing and securing the credentials that are used to authenticate users and their devices. Credentials can include passwords, certificates, and tokens. Zebra Android devices offer a number of features for credential management, including Android Key Store, Certificate Manager, and credential providers. Certificate Manager is a prime tool that is used to manage certificates on Zebra devices. By properly managing credentials, organizations can help to protect their data and systems from unauthorized access. In addition to built-in credential management features, Zebra also offers a number of additional solutions for managing credentials on Zebra Android devices. These solutions include Zebra Mobility DNL LG for Android and Zebra Mobility Extensions. MX is a suite of Zebra developer tools that extended the capability of Android devices. MX includes a number of credential management features, such as the ability to create and manage multiple user accounts, restrict access to specific apps and features, and silently installing the certificates and tokens. And it supports the EMM solutions. What is MX? Zebra MX is a suite of enterprise-grade mobility extensions that Zebra Technologies adds to its Android devices. MX provides a layer of features that are missing in mobile devices that run standard Android. Features that make Zebra's Android mobile computing devices make them really enterprise ready. MX can be used in a variety of ways, including mobile workforce management, which is used to manage a mobile workforce, such as sales representatives or service technicians. It can also be used to deploy apps, manage updates, and track device locations. Enterprise data capture, used to capture data from mobile devices, such as barcodes and GPS coordinates. Mobile security. It includes a variety of security features, such as encryption, device management, and data loss prevention, and certificate management. MX-enabled tools are a suite of tools that allows developers to build and manage mobile applications. They include a variety of tools, tasks such as device management, security, configuration, wireless connectivity, application management, and UI customization. MDMTK is a mobile device management platform that allows you to manage and secure your mobile devices. SOTI AirWatch another MDM platform that offers a wide range of features, including device enrollment, security, and application management. EMDK is a development that allows you to build native Android application for Zebra mobile devices. StageNow is a configuration tool that allows you to quickly and easily configure Zebra mobile devices. And we recently added SSM, which is called Secure Storage Manager, to mitigate the complexity of scope of storage. In summary, as we hear today, data security is complex and ever-evolving challenges. However, there are a number of ways that we can do or protect our data, including implementing strong security measures such as encryption and access control, using security protocols for data transmission, managing credentials carefully. Scope storage is a new Android feature, and it will provide additional privacy for the customers or users, but it brings a challenges to the customers or users. So to mitigate that one, Secure Storage Manager will provide a balancing way of ease of use and sharing the data between applications. Data security refers to the security of data that is stored on device or server. This can be achieved through encryption, access control, and other security measures. FIPS 140-2 is a US government standard for cryptography modules. It is used to ensure that the cryptography modules meet a certain level of security. The common criteria is another international standard evaluating the security of information technology products. Data in motion security refers to the security of data when it is being transmitted between devices or servers. This can be achieved through encryption, tunneling, and other security measures. Boring SSL is an open source implementation of TLS and SSL protocols. It is used by most popular software projects, including Google Chrome, Android. Credential management refers to the process of storing, protecting, and using credentials such as passwords and certificates. This is important to prevent unauthorized access. ZebraMax is a mobile computer extensions, mobility extensions, which is coming from the Zebra. It is popular in enterprise settings for applications such as mobile point of sales and warehousing. In the next session, I will cover interface protection and obfuscation along with a demo. I strongly recommend you to attend the session so that you can learn how to protect your code from reverse engineering and exposed interfaces. As a final thought, I would like to leave you with these quotes. Security is not a product, it's a process. And security is everyone's business. That's what I keep hearing from my security lead here in Zebra. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Thyam. Great presentation. We do have a few questions that came in over the Q&A, so I'm going to jump into those. But if anybody else has any other questions, please use the questions feature within GoToWebinar, and we will try and address it during the call here today. The first one is, what are the regulatory requirements for DAR and DIM encryption? Can you summarize those for the team?
Okay, FIPS 140-2 or 3, which is the latest one, validated crypto modules, they provide confidence on encryption. So regulatory requirements normally vary from industry to industry between the DAR or DIM. In general, financial industries, they must encrypt the credit card data at rest, credit card information. It needs to be encrypted. Like they need to meet some standards, PCI DSS. At that stage, it's a DAR is encryption is mandatory. And healthcare, they need to meet HIPAA requirements. So because they need to encrypt PHI, personal health information, which is called. And government sectors, they must encrypt all sensitive data, which is at the data trust or a data in motion.
Thank you. We have two more that came in. Is Zebra SSM compatible with other mobile device management MDM solutions?
Yes, absolutely. It's compatible with a variety of MDM solutions. Zebra SSM is accessible to EMMs through Google's defined managed configuration interfaces. This means that by setting up or managing configurations to deploy a file or application through EMM, you can share the data between applications. Yeah, the answer is yes, it is possible.
Great, great. And another question that came through, currently data transfer via HTTP with Android 11 is possible, even though not recommended. What is possible with Android 12 and beyond, or must they migrate to HTTPS?
No, I missed that question.
Okay, let me try
yes,
again.
Okay.
Currently, this developer uses data transfer through HTTP with Android 11, even though it's not recommended, so acknowledging that. Will it still be possible with Android 12, or must they migrate?
Yes, Google always recommends to move out from the HTTP, but still they're maintaining it. That's why they're adding something called network config, where it is securely transferred by trusting the source and destinations. Yeah, answer is possible. You can still continue it, but it is not recommended due to the encryption issues. Yeah.
I think that's the key, not recommended is the key there. So thank you. All right, that is all the questions that have come in today, Sairam. So thank you for your time. Thank you for all of you on the phone for listening in. Again, this will be available on YouTube in about a week's time, so we'll share it there. But please do follow us on all of our social channels and join us for the next DevTalk happening in November. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.